Welcome to Kari's Conscious Living.
Hello, my favourite friend. If you haven't joined Cat Club yet, please talk to your mum, your dad, your guardians, your grandparents, whoever it is that's in charge, and ask them if you can join the Cat Club. You'll get 3 exclusive Heidi, Cherry and Vaya stories every month on the 7th of the month. I hope you can join and become part of the family. Namaste, my little friend. Enjoy your story.
Are you ready to meditate with Kari? Are you ready to be so still and quiet so that you can let your body relax as you listen to the meditation story? Let go of the world around you and enter into your own magical place. Airamya was having a sleepover with her best friend Delilah and her sister Tayten. It was dusk and it was a nice warm evening. The sun had gone down. It was starting to get dark, but not too much, and they were still playing in the garden. Airamya had a fairy dwelling in her garden, a place where she'd made a tiny little fairy village with different houses made from sticks and just things that you can collect from around the garden. They'd gone to the fairy dwelling because they needed to make a wish. It was a wish that involved magic, and of course, when you're using magic, you need something magical like fairies. It wasn't unusual for Airamya to have an awesome imagination in the first place. But sometimes, when you're with your friends and your sister, you conjure up extra magic. And what they had in mind, what they were going to do, needed extra fairy magic. First things first, said Airamya. We need to talk to the fairies. We need to talk to the fairies because the fairies need to help us to conjure up a magical unicorn. Actually, 3 magical unicorns. And then, when the stars come out and the moon comes out and it's dark later and the unicorns arrive, we need to get on the back of the unicorns and go to the stars. When we get to the stars, which are very close to heaven, they might actually be in heaven, said Airamya. Or they could actually be heaven. We shall see. Anyway, we need to go to the stars because I've decided that it would be really awesome if you could experience being a star. Delilah, her friend, said, That's a really cool idea. Tayten thought it was very cool too. So, said Airamya, I think to be a star would be very cool because people make wishes upon stars. You know, I wish upon a star. So, I wonder what it feels like to be a star and have people make wishes on you and be able to grant their wishes. I bet that feels kind of like when people pray. Because when people pray all the time, like they pray to different things, they pray to Jesus. Jesus has all of these people praying to him all the time. I wonder what it feels like to be responsible for all those people praying for you. Do you have to make all the prayers come true? So, if you're a star, do you have to make every wish that people wish come true? Just then, as Airamya was talking about this in deep thought and concentration, as if it's something she'd been pondering over for quite some time, her best friends, Heidi, Cherry and Vaya, walked past the garden. They were on the way over to to someone else's house, but Cherry always liked to stop to say hello. Hello, birthday girl, said Cherry. So, Airamya, when is it that's your birthday again now? And how old are you going to be? Airamya said that she was going to be 10. Oh, such a cool age. I can't wait till I'm 10. You know, it'd be so cool to be 10 because, you're not yet a teenager, but you're not really a baby. You're just at that cool age where you can still do all sorts of cool things and no one says, you can't do that anymore, you're a teenager. And you're like, yeah, no, because I can, because I'm 10 and I can do whatever I want still. Heidi said, Cherry, we're going to be late. Vaya said, happy birthday, Airamya. Heidi said, oh yes, happy birthday, Airamya. Airamya waved at the cats and said, thank you. Cherry said, love ya, talk to you later, see you later, alligator. Hope you have a nice night with your friends. Hello, Delilah. Hello, Tayten. All the girls waved at the cats, and then, just like that, Heidi, Cherry and Vaya disappeared, off to get up to whatever they were going to get up to, who knows. Airamya put her attention back on Delilah and Tayten and said, okay, so are we all on the same page? Are we going to be stars that people can wish upon tonight, just to find out what that feels like? Everyone nodded and agreed. The girls went inside. They brushed their teeth, got into the comfortable pajamas, got all snuggled down in bed. Delilah said to Airamya, what about the fact that it's dark in the sky? I thought you didn't like dark. Airamya said, well, yes, I've thought of that. I ordered a pair of magical glasses for all of us off the fairies while we were talking to the fairies. These magical glasses are going to illuminate the sky and make it so it's not too dark. Delilah said, brilliant idea. Tayten said, but what about the fact that you're afraid of heights? Airamya said, got it covered. Whenever you fly on a unicorn, you never fall off. You're always safe. It's magic. That's just how it works. Oh, said Tayten, perfect. They all snuggled down in the bed together, closed off the big light so just the nightlight was on in the room, and started to relax their bodies. First, they scrunched up their toes really, really tight, tightened all the muscles in their feet, and tried to make their feet into tiny little balls, and then relaxed their toes. They'd heard Corey talk about this in a meditation before, where you go through all the different body parts in your body so that you can relax and squeeze out all the tension. They tightened the muscles in their legs, in their thighs, and in their calves. Really, really tightened all the muscles in their legs so it felt like they were really, really tight. And then they relaxed them. They tightened the tiny little bum cheeks, squeezed them as tight as they possibly could, and then again relaxed them. They did this with their hands, their faces, their arms, their tummies. They tightened up everything just for a few seconds and then relaxed them. And by the time they were done, all three of them were super, super relaxed, like jelly on a plate, just wibble wobbling all over the place. Their muscles were tired. Their eyes were tired. Before they fell asleep, Airamya said, okay, don't forget, use your imagination so you can create the magic. The girls both nodded and closed their eyes. The girls set to it. They were conjuring up magic. They were thinking about the fairies and all the magical dust sprinkled around the fairy dwelling. They were thinking about the fairies saying, "Yes, of course. Yes, of course," to everything that they asked. They trusted and believed, which is the most important thing when you're using your imagination. You have to believe that the magic is real. And then finally, they thought they heard a tap, tap, tap at the window. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. 3 different tap, tap, taps. All 3 girls scurried out of bed and quickly ran over to the window and pulled open the curtains. There, on the other side of the window, was 3 different unicorns. One was white, one was pink, and one was purple. The girls opened the window, so excited, giggling, laughing, pulling on their bedtime robes and their slippers. It was like Christmas all of a sudden. Each one of them climbed on the back of a unicorn, and off they went, flying up into the sky. They flew around in the dark sky with their magical glasses on, of course, that were like bright torches lighting the way. They could see everything down below. The houses, the streets, the trees, the parks. They could even see the school from where they were flying. They flew over Tayten's house. They flew over Delilah's house. The girls shouted, "Hello!" as if their families could hear them down below. But then it was time for some serious unicorn flying. And of course, they were safe because you can't fall off a unicorn. It's just magic. They were flying up higher and higher, up towards the stars, up through the stars. The first layer of stars that you see when you look up at the sky. But when you're actually up that high, it's like the stars are behind the stars and behind the stars again, and even behind the stars even more than that. They go on and on, as if they're getting deeper and deeper into the middle of the cosmos, the universe, to where heaven is. That far away they flew. And then all of a sudden, all 3 unicorns just stopped, as if they intuitively knew exactly the intention of what the girls wanted to achieve that night. The unicorns all turned around and they said, "Time to get off. Time to become a star." The girls looked at each other, but they knew, they trusted the magic. Each one of them stepped off their unicorn and instantly turned into the biggest, brightest stars. By now, they didn't have a mouth, so they couldn't talk to each other in the normal way anymore. But everything that they were thinking, they could hear each other's thoughts. Airamya was like, "OMG!" The girls were all laughing. It was so awesome, so exciting. Okay, said Airamya. "Now all we need is someone to make a wish upon us." And then ping, ping, just like that, ping. It was like every second there was like 3 or 4 pings. Ping, ping, ping. The pings were different wishes coming from adults, children, cats, dogs, even puppies. Airamya was like, I love puppies. I want all the puppy wishes. They were bombarded with wish after wish after wish. They couldn't believe how many animals and people, not just children, adults, all different ages, wished upon stars. At one point, Airamya said, "This is so weird, but I can automatically remember every wish. And as someone makes a wish, it feels like I send out like a big, almost like a burp of energy, like a burp of energy, and it just comes out, and then where the energy goes is exactly what they're wishing on. Automatically, stars make your wishes come true." Delilah said, "This is nuts." Tayten said, "It's so awesome." For the longest time, they listened and then burped out the little bits of star energy to send the energy to wherever the person or the animal or the puppy made the wish to make it come true. Sometimes, though, what they realized that they didn't realize before, who would know this? That those little burps of energy can be very, very fast for some wishes, but then they can also be very, very slow for other wishes. And then after a while, they figured out that some people need to learn to be patient, and that's why their magic doesn't happen straight away. And some people are very, very deserving and loving and kind and sweet and grateful for everything that they have in the world. And it seemed like those type of people got their wishes to come true so much quicker. Some people had to work a little bit harder for their magic, but their magic still happened. Their wishes came true if they were supposed to come true. The girls learned so much being a star that people could wish upon. Airamya, in her own way, felt like she got to feel what Jesus felt like. She liked Jesus. Jesus was her buddy. She visited Jesus often when she used her imagination in heaven. They were friends. But now she really understood what Jesus must feel like when everyone prays. Maybe it's the same for prayers. Maybe prayers, some of them come fast and some of them take a lot longer, and you have to be more patient depending on whether you need to learn something or not. After a while, the unicorns turned up once again. The girls climbed on their backs and flew all the way home. Through one layer of stars, after another layer of stars, and then another, until eventually they broke free from the stars, flew through the sky, through the night clouds, through lower and lower, until eventually they started to see the trees from far, far away, the buildings, the city lights, the houses that were lit up. People are supposed to be asleep, Airamya thought. They got closer and closer until they stopped right in front of her bedroom window. The girls took turns climbing off and climbing into the bedroom. They imagined that they climbed back into their bed. They imagined that they slept the rest of the night and had the sweetest, most rejuvenating dreams. And when they woke up the next morning, they all agreed that magic is one of the bestest things in the world. Magic, and of course, having an absolutely amazing imagination. Did they go? Or didn't they? The